Good morning, viewers. Welcome to the third episode of Aiotize podcast. I'm your host, Randhir again. And today we would talk about a very interesting topics that how, drone enthusiasts and hobby drone pilots can transition their hobby into a career as a drone pilot, as a commercial drone pilot, agri drone pilot. And for the same reason, we have with us two very special people. We have our best drone pilots, Rameez and Nidhin. They are an expert in flying, the agri drone, the racing drone, and the commercial drone. So listen to them very, very carefully. Their advice can enable your career fly high. So starting with, Rameez. Rameez, how old are you?
I'm 24 years old.
Okay, great, 24 years old. What about you?
I'm 22 years old.
Nidhin is 22 years old and Rameez is 24 years old. And yet, they are, they're hell of a pilot, drone pilot. Okay, so I'll start with you, Nidhin. How did you start becoming, a drone pilot, or when did you start this flying drones, and when you realized that now I can become a drone pilot?
Thank you for inviting me to this podcast.
You're welcome, Nidhin.
I started my career from my college days. I started doing my project a drone, building a drone. Then from there I went to a company. I started the internship over there.
So you started first building the drones, like hobby drones and all?
Yeah, hobby drone.
Okay. Then later on,
Later on, I didn't think this will be my full-time job or like that. I didn't.
Okay.
Then I went to an internship. Did that internship.
What kind of internship you did?
UAV engineer.
Okay. That's really great.
How to build drones from scratch and.
Very interesting. Yes.
From there, I learned how the controls are.
And at what was your age at that point of time?
20.
20 years. Okay, cool. Yeah.
Then I started knowing the controls and how to fly. Then started in simulation. I did simulation for hours and hours and hours.
Okay, so simulation, like in this piloting, you have when you fly an airplane, a pilot, they also do simulation. Yeah. So similarly, you have a simulation as well. Okay, great. Anything else then?
Then I started after that I joined another company for agri drones. From there I really learned how to fly drones. From there I started my career as a professional drone pilot. Okay,
so first you started as flying drones as a hobby, and the first break you got as a flying agri drone. I think flying agri drone is something not an easy or task. You need a certain level of expertise in order to precisely just execute all those flying and the task which is associated with this particular piloting, like spraying of probably the pesticides, and there are some cameras also which would capture the health, moisture of the soils and all. Oh, really great. So I want to make it very crisp and compact. So quickly I will move to the next question. So you did say something, but what was your first drone you flown, and how was your first flight? How did all went? You said that you started as a hobby. So what was your first drone, and how did you what was your first experience to fly that?
First drone was that custom built drone I did in my college days.
Okay.
It was the basic red and blue frame.
Okay.
KK board and.
Which is very common. Which is very common in the market. That's what you.
Model.
Yeah, basic model and.
That we can't fly that much distance and.
Very coarse and very basic. Doesn't look beautiful. I don't like those models. But anyway, it's a good thing to start with people. Straight away, high-end drone you're buying, so you'd be spending lot of money. And congratulations, day before yesterday, Nidhin crashed a like racing drone, and it went straight away, like few kilometers away beyond the horizon, and it is lost forever and ever. So congratulations for crashing worth 40,000 rupees drone.
Flying FPV drones are really hard.
Yeah. Okay. So these are kids. So like we are having quite casual conversations, viewers. And Nidhin, the next question would be, like, apart from flying drones, what are the other tasks drone pilots need to execute? For example, for any organization, if you're working, so not just flying, there would be several things associated with it. That's what you'll be.
If you are going for survey, there is you should do the mapping and all in the for survey, and for agri we need to do the mixture of pesticides and
Okay.
for battery charging we need to check the frames if it has any cracks.
Frames and all, and the quality checks initial.
Checks.
Yeah.
After flying we can't know what will happen to the drone.
Yeah, like the airmans and all does in Air Force or in a commercial plane or airline industry. So there you need to do
basic how to build a drone. We should know how to check
how the drone works first. Then only
yes. Then also you can fly. You should be actually not only drone pilot, but you should be partially an engineer as well. Yes. Not necessarily that you need the degree, but you should know the basics.
DJI, we don't really need to be like this. If you are flying a custom drone, you should know how it works first.
But it's good to have a custom drones because you would learn the details, fine details, how to build a drone and all. I mean, if you would need completely ready package like DJI or Autel Robotics, then you would not be able to learn that how entire component has to be put together, the flight controller, the various aspect of it. I will not go later on in some other video. We will talk about it. Okay, so Nidhin, that was very interesting, events which you shared with us. So now I will move on to Rameez. Rameez is an expert drone pilot, and also he is quite familiar with building drones and a 3D printer engineer as well. Okay, so Rameez, my question to you is that what are the requirements for a beginners to become a drone pilot? For example, either someone wants to be a commercial drone pilot, racing drone pilot, or fighter drone pilots. So what do you think? What advice you would have for our viewers?
First, they would go through simulation first. That's the basic thing they have to do first. First, they should know how the drone works, and, and then its controls.
All right.
There are like 4 controls in like controlling the drone. That pitch, roll, yaw, and
pitch, hold,
pitch, roll, yaw, and throttle.
Yaw and throttle. What is yaw?
Yaw means like sideways movement. Like a rotation movement.
Okay, rotation movement. Okay.
Pitch is like the forward movement. Like
pitch is forward movement.
Roll is the like sideways movement.
Roll is the sideways movement. Oh, either left or right.
Then pitch up and pitch down.
Pitch up and pitch down. Yaw is
right and left.
Oh wow, yaw is right and left.
Throttle is like increasing its height.
Throttle is understandable, but yaw, pitch, high, and was pretty like a jargon thing, but very well explained. Anything else?
First, they should know the controls first.
Okay.
Then they should step up to simulations.
Simulations.
There are different softwares available in the market. They could buy a controller first.
Oh, okay.
First, they should buy a controller.
Then they
could try with simulators first.
Okay, so they would buy a controller, and then there is a software, like you have this gaming thing and all, and that controller can be synced with the software or the game, the simulation game, and then they can actually fly and take
Fly
off
and take
drone.
off and
Does that really help and give you an expertise?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
I'm now learning how to fly FPV in simulation.
Oh, FEB in simulation. Okay.
It's really hard.
Okay.
Minute movements. We need to.
At least you have learned to crash FPVs. Okay, great, great. I mean, very good and
Then later
informative.
on, they can move to some cheaper drones first.
Okay, cheaper drones
Then
building.
they could like if they got really good at it, then they can go for higher.
Cheaper
That's it.
drones, how much it would cost the cheapest?
Like 10,000-15,000, they could buy the parts and like they should know how the drone works and like how
Yes.
the parts are, like, what are
The motors, the
functions.
flight controllers, and the various things associated
ESC,
with that.
ESC,
Okay.
distribution board,
Okay.
flight controllers, propellers.
Uh-huh.
They could buy
Flight
these separate, like or they could buy it as kits, and they could build their own.
Build their own and then fly.
It will be satisfying for them also.
Yes. That should be the way. Very well explained, Ramesh and Nidhin. Now, I would ask I would go to the last question. To fly a drone, a pilot license is required, right? You need to be endorsed by the civil aviation or whatever the authorities are. I will not be aware, viewers. So, if yes, then how to apply for it and how to get those pilot licensing? Who would be the stakeholders in that?
DGCA is the organization that provides license for drone
Oh,
pilots.
DGCA is doing that, yeah.
Director General of Civil Aviation.
Yes.
There is a platform called DigiSky.
Uh-huh.
There you can register as a drone pilot. Before that,
Okay.
like minimum requirement for that is like you should be 10 pass.
Mm-hmm.
And
Should
you
be
should have
10 pass
a valid
passport.
passport also.
Valid passport as well. I mean, is it mandatory to have valid
It's mandatory
passport?
now, like they have mentioned it now. Earlier they are mentioned like
DGCA.
DGCA.
So viewers, do you understand that DGCA has made mandatory to have a passport? The reason why, because is that there is a huge demand of drone pilots all across the world. So they want to have these skills and as well as the people who are ready to go abroad if there is some requirement is available for that. So I think this could be the main reason why DGCA has made it mandatory to have a passport, right? Because as soon as some requirement comes, the person is ready to go to that particular country or the place, right? Okay.
Afterwards, they can join a like DGCA approved drone flying school.
Mm-hmm.
There they can train. They will train you. Afterwards,
Okay.
like they will give you a certificate.
Certificate. What is the duration of these
This
like
process will last only for 1 month, like that.
1 month or so? So is it like that first you have learned the piloting at home, doing all your simulation, building your drones and all, and can you get these pilot licensing remotely as well, or is it mandatory to be
There should be physical
physical training should be there? Okay, so how many
There
these?
are like a set of rules and regulations set by DGCA. They should know every rules and regulations that a drone pilot should follow. There are some set of rules and regulations are there.
Oh wow.
In that training schools, they teach them that.
Okay, great. So very informative things being told by Rameez and Nidhin, viewers. So if you want, we can just go ahead and make a video or make a podcast in detail about this piloting thing and how to become a drone pilot. So thank you so much, Rameez, and thank you so much, Nidhin. Thank you so much for your time, and I wish you all the very best in all your endeavors in the future. So viewers, if you have any questions pertaining to the drone piloting, please do ask us. Rameez, Nidhin and I would try to reply, try to give you the appropriate information related to that. Thank you so much for your time.